wanted to tell you a bit about how I got to do what I do and like why I went on this crazy journey into life. So I was 25 and I had a perfect boyfriend and a perfect house, car. I was living in London. I had a good job in fashion, kind of everything on the surface seemed to be perfect. Like everything that I supposedly asked for, I had. And I would find myself still very depressed and crying myself to sleep and unhappy with my life. And it was very confusing because, I had everything I wanted. I was almost about to get married and to a guy I thought I loved. And I couldn't seem to find a way to be happy. And I think it's something that I've been dealing with my whole life. And I haven't had an easy childhood, and I wasn't really loved as a child or educated. But I kind of grew up okay, and I managed to treat myself most of the time. And I never liked going to treatments and therapists and stuff, but I kind of thought I was doing okay. But on the surface, I was very depressed and unhappy. And then the boyfriend I had dumped me one day out of the blue. He just woke up one morning and said, "I'm not happy anymore. This isn't working for me and we need to break up." And I was with him for quite a while, a few years. I've known him since I was 18, so it was like 7 years. And out of them 5 we were dating, and just to get up one day and say that you're not happy and you want to leave was very shocking to me, and it triggered all my abandonment issues and my self-worth issues that I didn't even know I had. And I was depressed for about 6 months until one night I was in my room. I was just laying in bed depressed like a lot of people do, and I had, I guess you would call it, a moment of enlightenment where I was just present in the room, looking around me, and I realized that I had been living in a dream state or kind of an hallucination, always in the past, always in the future, but never in the actual present moment. And then I was in that moment, in that present moment, and it was very profound. And I realized I had to do something about my life. And it took me 7 years to get up or to get back on my feet or to heal myself fully. And I used a lot of different techniques. Obviously, meditation was the main one. I actually learned how to meditate when I was 16. I read my first Osho book when I was 16. And I knew how to meditate, and I knew consciousness, and I had a lot of knowledge, but I wasn't living it, and I wasn't actually implementing it in my life. So I knew how to meditate, but I wasn't meditating. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I had this moment, and I decided to start doing work on myself. I flew to India, and I learned about Buddhism, and I kept on having these little enlightening moments. But over the last 2 years, I've had my real Kundulini awakening, I guess you would call it. Mainly due to the fact that I actually went to get help. And I didn't go to a psychiatrist or to a psychologist. I went to an alchemist who I thought could help me because she spoke my language. Energies and souls and rebirth and karma and all these things that I learned about and grew to believe are true because I felt they were true, and she was speaking my language. So I went and did a course with her, and then afterwards the next stage, because even after the course with her I cleared so much and I healed so much, but I still wasn't happy. I wasn't living it. I felt I had the knowledge, I understood everything, I knew everything, but it felt like I had all the knowledge here in the upper chakras, but I wasn't bringing it down into my body. And then I started practicing naked yoga, which is actually a tantric shamanic practice It's not really yoga as much as it is taking all the covers off who you are and the character who you present to be to the world, and dealing with your shit, basically. And it's been a very painful and awakening year that I've been practicing naked yoga. I actually started teaching women naked yoga recently because I just wanted to create a safe space for women. I deal a lot with sexuality and female sexuality, obviously because I'm a woman, and I'm finding ways to kind of combine the conscious work and the alchemy work with the physical sexual work. So that's what I'm doing mainly at the moment. And the naked yoga really saved me. And it took all the knowledge from the top 3 chakras, the crown, the third eye, and the throat, and it brought it down to the 3 lower chakras by opening the heart chakra, because it was blocked. The energy was here. Like, I had the knowledge, I knew meditation, I knew karma and positive, like I had all the information, and the lower chakras were active. I was sexual and I was working on my sexuality, opening up new portals of sexual pleasure and orgasms, but they weren't connecting. So the energy here was kind of flowing and the energy down was flowing, but it wasn't a full Kundulini kind of rhythmic energetic flow. It was stuck. It was like this on the bottom and the top, but it never touched. And the naked yoga kind of opened the heart. I call it the heart key, but the chakra of the heart. And once I dealt with all my deepest, darkest shit, I guess you would call it, and wounds from childhood, then I could start healing my heart chakra, and then the Kundalini could just like flow, and that's exactly what happened. And I opened the heart chakra, doing a lot of inner child work in the naked yoga. So you're naked and you're doing inner child work, and you're like a naked child in nature, just loving yourself and going back to love, and all these bad memories kept on popping up, and I, instead of running away and kind of saying no bad stuff, I let it come up, and I cried, and then it released. And the more I release, the better the energy flows in my Kundalini, I guess, between the chakras from the 1st to the 7th. And obviously I keep on doing my practice, and I'm a life and spiritual coach, I guess you would say. So I also teach or help. I don't think I can teach anything, but I guide now other people to go through the same process I went through and I'm still going through. I also use a lot of Marianne Williamson's work. She bases her stuff on a course in miracles, and I do call myself a miracle worker. I'm doing her teaching the teacher's course, and I love everything there. Kind of goes together with all the work that I've been doing. But yeah, I think a lot of people reach that point in life where they kind of achieve a lot of the things that they wanted, and they're still not happy, and they're still miserable and depressed. And being depressed doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means something at the moment in your life isn't a perfect fit, and your soul feels that it's not a perfect fit, and your ego tries to fight that feeling, because in your mind you know it's the right fit, because this is, you calculated and you thought about it and this is the right thing, but your soul knows it's wrong for you. And then we have a dissonance within ourselves, and that comes out in depression, disease, insomnia, a lot of different physical ways. With each person it's different. It depends on our childhood and our history and our karma and our past lives, a lot of different things. So anyway, I think for me, the depression saved my life, because it made me take a good look at who I am and how I'm living my life and what I'm doing and the people in my life. And if I wasn't depressed, I could keep on living in that kind of hallucination state, illusion you would call it, the Maya they call it in Buddhism. I could keep living there forever and just live my boring zombie life. But the depression made me deal with it, and it made me deal with my pain, and it made me deal with myself, and it made me learn and grow and change and improve my life to a state where today I feel happy, I love my life, I've designed a life that I love, and I still have things that I'm working on, like financial stuff that I'm working on, which is to do with love, lack of love. I have stuff that I'm working on, but I've understood enough, and I feel like I've learned enough, more than 15 years of this, to pass it on to other people and teach them, and maybe hopefully help them be a little more happy and satisfied with themselves and with their life, and open up the Kundulini energy and just live in their fullest potential, because that's, I believe everyone can. It's just a matter of will and having the right knowledge and doing the work, being persistent, not giving up on yourself, not giving up or giving into life or to the bad things in life. There are always bad things, but there are always good things. So yeah, if, you know, depression is a good sign to wake up and do the work and go inside and see what's wrong and heal it with love and compassion and patience and empathy and grace. And so don't feel, if you're depressed, don't feel like something's wrong with me, something's wrong with my life, I don't know how to do this, I'm so depressed all the time, I'm such a loser. I think it's a blessing to be depressed. It's a sign of a very strong soul who's not giving in to this illusion, or not illusion, this illusion that we're all living in. And it's just a wake-up call from your soul, and it's a blessing in disguise. So if you find yourself depressed, first learn to say thank you to my soul that has showed me that I'm not happy here, that something is wrong, something is not aligned, something is not accurate. And thank you for the opportunity to work on it and to make things better. So yeah, I've dealt with depression, like I said, for forever. I've dealt with it, and I help others deal with it, and I do think it's a blessing. So yeah, I write. So I've got a blog I'm going to upload soon, and I have a YouTube channel and Instagram with all my vlogs, and I do private sessions. If you're interested, you can just DM me. I also do tarot cards and gene key readings. So I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a bit about me and who I am, and I look forward to sharing more of my insight and information and, you know, different parts of my journey with you. So maybe you can take something from it and learn something from it, or use some of it. And I'm really, the only reason that I've ever shared anything about my life is it's always been to help other people who might be able to use my realizations and my little moments of enlightenment for their own good. So I love you all, and thanks for watching this video. And if you liked it, you're more than welcome to follow, subscribe, and keep on watching my stuff. And I really hope you have an amazing week, and thank you very much for being with me. So sick.